You send me like a lot of fun pictures. I'll say fun pictures.
Sir.
Twerking and stuff. So anyhow, I don't know if it's Alexis or Ava, but she saw one of the videos.
Wait, she actually saw it?
So our kid's been going through our phone and a lot of stuff in our phone. A lot of stuff that...
Well, we are two grown adults, so...
Definitely grown. Definitely. Can be more grown. Sometimes I wish I wasn't. But we really have nothing to hide in our phone, but should kids be looking through that? Because, there could be some stuff in there that we definitely don't want them to see, right?
Yeah,
Didn't something happen recently with you?
No, nothing happened. It was a thought that crossed my mind. Because... the kids pick up our phone, even though they have their own devices. If ours is there, they'll pick ours up and start playing games on it. Sometimes you look at your phone, you're like, I didn't download these games. Like, why are there 17 games on my phone? It's because the kids picked up your phone and, started doing stuff with it. Mm-hmm. So my thought was like, man, these kids, they pick up your phone, they start downloading stuff. They see your name come up on a text message, like, oh, what did I say? Mm-hmm. None of your business. Like, don't look at that. Because when you were gone this weekend, Justin went on I'll call it a golf retreat. He went to play golf.
Golf tournament. 4-day golf tournament. Don't ask me how it went, guys.
At Bernie's.
It was cold. Yeah.
So when you were gone, and you texted, or I don't know who initiated the text. Mm-hmm. You texted, and then I texted back. Something
dirty, not real dirty, but basically between a between a wife and a husband, she said something about
you guys don't need to know.
Wanting to do to me.
Okay,
right.
You guys don't need to know.
Right, exactly.
You guys don't need to know. You can get it. You're adults. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But, that went through. Whatever. We had that conversation, that exchange of messages. And then, I put my phone down, went on about my business, and I just started thinking, if Ava and Alexis were to pick up my phone, maybe you dinged again, they'd be like, oh, Dada. Mm-hmm. They would click on it and start reading it. So I'm saying, kids should know, after a certain point, when they can start reading, no, you can't have my phone anymore. They have their own devices.
Yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, I wonder what other parents or, whatever, what do you guys do? I mean, I think a lot of moms and dads have a strict rule, don't get my phone because probably they have something to hide. I don't have nothing to hide.
That is something to hide,
though. Because a relationship between a husband and a wife is obviously different between a parent and a child. So you don't want your child seeing what the relationship is between the mom and the dad, because some of these things have not been discovered yet by kids.
Let's say even if it wasn't, illicit, explicit stuff. What if we were arguing on the text?
Yeah.
Some parents, you effing this. I mean, we never do that.
I can't imagine doing that.
But you witnessed that in your childhood.
Oh, yeah.
So what I'm saying is, if that was the exchange between a parent, same situation, I think. If your child were to pick that up, they'd be like, oh.
Right.
So I'm just saying, after some point.
And also our kids, sometimes they get our phone when we're not even around. They get easily I'm
where's my phone?
Right.
Because they grabbed it and took it and went to some room with it.
I didn't tell you this, but I had Google Photos, all these Google Photos on my phone. And years ago, you sent me a lot of fun pictures. I'll say fun pictures. And she's in video and moving her body. She had clothes on, but she was
it's called dancing.
Dancing.
He said moving her body.
I don't know what to say. She's twerking and stuff.
Sir.
Twerking and stuff. So anyhow, I don't know if it's Alexis or Ava, but she saw one of the videos because I was just scrolling through. I was trying to
Wait. She actually saw it?
Well, for a brief second, not even a second. Because I was scrolling through for a video, I was trying to find old pictures of me. And as I was going through Google Photos, I was like, wow, this is everything on here. And it was a video of you dancing. And Ava or Alexis just said, why does Mama look like that? They're kind of what's she doing? Why does Mama look like that right there? And I just kind of, scrolled up or whatever. So
sometimes when I'm on my phone, and obviously I'm not on Hub or anything like that, but as I'm scrolling through my phone, sometimes and they come over and they just, this is them on the phone. So this is me scrolling, this is them. And And I'm like, what are you doing?
They're very nosy. They just come right over.
And it's not that I mind you. Like, if I'm reading a book, sure, come do that. But you don't know what I'm looking at.
Well, I think because kids really have no boundaries. Like, kids get encroach on other kids. Like, they just get up in their face and, like, everything. So they think they can do the same thing to adults. And for the most part, I mean, you can until you get to a certain age when it's like now when you might be able to see something that you shouldn't see.
That's what I'm saying. You know, like I said, it doesn't have to be explicit. You know, I could be reading about 100 people that died in an airplane crash. And now she's like, I'm like, see, but this wasn't meant for you. I was reading a news story that wasn't meant for you at the moment. Now you're sitting here panicking. Now I got to address you and your panic on something that you should have been looking at my phone.
Yeah.
So that happens a lot with things. I'm just like, girls. Also, I don't want them doing that to other adults. Like, they do that to Imani sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, unless you're invited over to look, you can't stand over an adult's shoulder and look at what they're looking at on there. You just can't do that.
Yeah, I think the best way to approach it is to, like, you know, really, we can make them stand off and, like, you know, what are you curious about? Just answer the question.
You can ask the question.
Instead of coming over and, like, what are you curious about? You curious about what I'm looking at? Well, that's what I'm looking at.
They don't even ask, they literally just...
If you're curious about an article that I'm reading that's appropriate for you, then I'll share it with you or something like that. But you can't just come over and look. And like I said, if you want to ask, then you can ask about what it is.
Well, they literally just come over and stare. Mm-hmm. And if I didn't, like, sense them at some point, I'm like, what are you doing? Well,
you know, to think about it, a phone is a very private thing for someone. Even if you have really nothing to hide, it's still a private thing. It's like your thing that you keep, like your billfold or wallet, like in your, like it's your thing. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you have all the things that you want in the way that you want them there. So it's kind of a private thing.
I even have in my phone, like, I keep my personal notes. Like, I take little notes all the time. I just, something to either remember, or if I was feeling some way, I might take a little note. Like, those are my own personal private thoughts and things like that I'm like, I don't need nobody going through that, you know.
Our kids now have their own phone.
That's what I'm saying. I think
we go in their phone though.
I think as soon as they get their own devices, then what need do they have to?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's great being a child because we go through their phone and it's always, obviously, it's great, the innocence of children, because it's just the funniest stuff. We've done videos on the girls' channel. We recently did one called, I went through my twin sister's phone or something, and we did some other ones on our family channel. And it's usually the kids just taking hilarious pictures of themselves and putting effects on it, long videos that make no sense, and it's just hilarious. And I think that's the innocence of being a child and how beautiful that is, that, like, whatever you find on their device is just going to be goofy stuff. Yeah. When you get to be an adult, things get serious, and, like, you have other things you may not want other people to see.
Like I said, it crossed my mind, and then I also said, I'm going to do a Rito Lake when... you know, your kids start playing with your phone, and then you remember that last text between you and your husband. I, like, dive across the sofa, like, no.